Amara is a young woman of resilience, determination, and unwavering kindness. Freshly starting her new job, she carries the weight of months of struggle and the relief of finally finding employment. Despite the challenges of her position, Amara approaches her work with a sense of gratitude and a fierce determination to succeed. She's the kind of person who doesn't back down from adversity, even when the odds are stacked against her. On this particular morning, as heavy rain drenches the streets of Enugu, Amara's focus is razor-sharp. She clutches her small umbrella tightly, navigating the slippery paths with purpose. Punctuality matters to her, not just because she's new, but because she values responsibility and respects the opportunity she's been given. Amara's heart is as warm as her resolve is strong, a combination that makes her both relatable and inspiring. She's the kind of person who notices those in need, even when she has little to give herself, and her actions often speak louder than words. Amara is a beacon of hope and humanity in a world that can sometimes feel cold and indifferent. Before we dive into this story, please consider subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications, and letting me know where you're watching from in the comments. As she walked, something caught her eye, an elderly woman standing in the rain, shivering. Her clothes were soaked, her feet bare, and she had no umbrella or coat to shield her from the cold. She looked lost and helpless. Amara's heart ached at the sight. She approached the woman and held the umbrella over her head. "Ma'am, please take this. You'll get sick," Amara said, handing her the umbrella. "You need to find shelter." The old woman looked at Amara with tired eyes and shook her head. "My child, I have nowhere to go. I just arrived from the village. I know no one here." Amara's heart sank. She reached into her pocket and pulled out the little money she had. It wasn't much, but it was all she could spare. "Here, take this. Use it to find somewhere to stay." But the old woman refused. "I can't take what you need for yourself, my child." Amara thought for a moment, then smiled. "Come with me. I'm heading to work. You can stay with me until you figure things out." Tears welled up in the old woman's eyes. "May God bless you, my daughter." Amara took the old woman's hand, and together they walked under the umbrella. When they reached Amara's workplace, she found a quiet corner for the woman to sit. She helped dry her clothes as best as she could. "Don't worry, ma'am. I'll take you somewhere safe during my break," Amara assured her. The old woman smiled and nodded, watching Amara as she worked. Despite having so little, this young woman had shown her such kindness. A few hours later, Amara left the office during her break. She hurried to a nearby shop to buy food for herself and the old woman. She didn't have much money, but she didn't care. The woman needed to eat. While Amara was away, a woman named Chioma walked into the office. Her high heels clicked loudly against the floor. She had come to surprise her fiancé, Emeka, the CEO. Chioma loved making unannounced visits to remind everyone that she was soon to be the boss's wife. As she entered, she noticed the old woman sitting quietly in the corner. Chioma frowned in disgust. "Who brought this dirty beggar here?" she demanded loudly, ensuring everyone heard her. The old woman looked up, confused. "My child, please don't be angry. I'll leave now." Chioma scoffed. "You better. This is my fiancé's company. You don't belong here. Get out." The old woman sighed. "You have a harsh spirit, my child. I wonder what kind of man would choose you as his wife." Chioma's face turned red with anger. "How dare you speak to me like that? Get out before I call security." The old woman stood slowly, her hands trembling as she walked toward the door. She didn't argue or fight back. She simply left, holding back her tears. When Amara returned, she was excited to share the meal she had bought. But as she approached the building, she saw the old woman standing outside, looking defeated. Amara's heart sank. "Ma'am, what are you doing out here?" she asked, rushing to her. The old woman sighed. "A woman came in and told me to leave. She said I was dirty and didn't belong here." Amara's hands clenched into fists. "Who did this?" she asked, her voice shaking with anger. "She said she's the CEO's fiancée. Her name is Chioma." Amara's blood boiled. She stormed into the office, where Chioma was sitting comfortably, examining her nails. Amara walked straight up to her. "Chioma," she called firmly. Chioma looked up lazily. "Oh, it's the little worker. What do you want?" Amara's eyes burned with anger. "How dare you treat an elderly woman like that? Who do you think you are?" Chioma rolled her eyes. "That dirty beggar? Please. I told Emeka not to hire people like you, but he didn't listen. And now you're here shouting at me?" Amara took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. "You don't even know if Emeka will marry you. Look at you, arrogant and heartless." Chioma's face darkened. "What did you just say?" Amara stepped closer. "You heard me. If you can treat a helpless woman like that, I wonder how you'll treat your future mother-in-law. Do you think she'll approve of your behavior?" Chioma scoffed. "My mother-in-law isn't some poor, dirty woman. She's classy and elegant, just like me. She'll love me." Amara shook her head. "You're blind, Chioma. Beauty and money don't make a good wife. Kindness and respect do. But you're cruel and selfish. You'll never understand true love." Chioma stood up, her face red with rage. "You're going to regret this. I'll make sure you lose your job." Amara laughed bitterly. "I don't care. I won't work in a place where people like you exist. You insulted that woman and now you're threatening me? Do your worst, Chioma. I'm taking her home, and I don't need this job." With that, Amara turned and walked out. Chioma clenched her fists, seething. "You'll pay for this," she hissed. Outside, the old woman was waiting. Amara took her hand. "Let's go home," she said softly. As they walked away, Amara felt a sense of peace. She had done the right thing, and that was all that mattered. Meanwhile, Chioma called Emeka, pretending to cry. "Emeka, something terrible happened," she sobbed. "Amara brought some street people into the office. They insulted me and threatened me." Emeka was shocked. "Amara did that?" "Yes," Chioma lied. "She even said she doesn't care about her job and walked out like she owns the place." Emeka sighed. "I'll handle it, Chioma. Go home and rest." After the call, Chioma smiled to herself. "Let's see how you survive this, Amara." But what Chioma didn't know was that the old woman was Emeka's mother. She had come to the city to surprise him and see how his employees treated others. When Emeka learned the truth, he was furious with Chioma for her cruelty and lies. He broke off their engagement and praised Amara for her kindness and integrity. In the end, Amara's act of compassion changed her life. Emeka offered her a promotion, and she continued to thrive in her career, knowing she had done the right thing. As for Chioma, she learned the hard way that true beauty comes from within. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest video.